Okay, for this next demo, for number 2, I'm gonna show you how to filter your image and prepare it for your drawing. So the first thing we're gonna do is reload GIMP. So I'm gonna go down here, little guy right here. I'm gonna go back in, and we're gonna open the file we saved in the previous video. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna go to File. We're going to open a recent one, and this is the one we looked at before. So there's our image, and notice here it still says floating selection pasted layer, and it's still floating there. You can see the marching ants. To fix that, I can get out of there just by naming this. I'm going to double click on the layer and just write Jer's face. Okay, once that's done, then it should deselect, and now I can switch between my layers, turn it on and off, etc., etc. Okay. First thing I wanted to show you is it's really important to have a solid color background behind you. I did not when I initially started this. I'll show you what I started with. Let's go out of here for a second, and let me see if I can find that image. Yeah, so here's the original. And let's see here if we can rotate it. There we go. You can see the ceiling and the trim here. So I had to get rid of all of that. I'm sure I could have found a better photo, but I thought this one was amusing. So anyway, I didn't start with that. But I would recommend that you start with a solid color in your background when you take your photograph. That way you don't have anything in the background to worry about when you're drawing. Okay, so coming back here, let's say you did have a solid background like a green or a pink or something like that, and you wanted to change it. You can do that if you want. There's a tool up here called the fuzzy select tool. It's like the magic wand in Photoshop. If I grab that tool and come over here and click inside this area that's pink, and I can select that whole area with the fuzzy tool. Then I can go to my paint can, which is right here. And then if I click on this front square here, this will give me my color swatches here. So this front foreground square, I can change that color to anything I want, really. Select that, let's say OK. Then you come in here and bring the paint can into the selected area and click on it, and now you've got a nice border change. So again, that just involves using the paint can. Well, first the fuzzy select tool up here looks like a magic wand, the paint can, and then the foreground color here. Okay, so that's our image we're starting with. To deselect this, I believe it's Shift Control A. There we go, we deselected, or you can find that up here under Select. So none is Shift Control A. Alright, so I'm going to grab the Move tool again. Again, the worst thing I can do with this Move tool is accidentally move my canvas. Control Z again will undo that. And now the next thing I want to do is desaturate the picture. So I want to take the color out of the picture. So you're looking for hue/saturation tools. I believe under this one it's under Colors in GIMP. So if you click on the Colors tab, there's a Hue Saturation tab here. We're going to click that, and we're going to use this tool, and we're going to take out the saturation by dragging this slider all the way over to the left, and you can see I've removed all the color from the image. Okay, once that's done, then you're going to want to adjust the brightness and contrast a little bit, possibly. You may not need to, but if you want to do that, you can go up here to, let's see, I'm trying to remember where it is. Brightness, same thing under Colors. If you go to Brightness Contrast, you can adjust the brightness of the image or make it a little darker if you need to. You can kind of up the contrast or make it less. That might make it easier for some of your imagery. You can go too far with it though, so you want to be careful. You want to keep some division here amongst the images. Something like that maybe. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Select OK. Once you've done that, you feel like you've adjusted the contrast a little, or reduced the contrast maybe between light and darks a little bit. Now we're going to apply the Gaussian Blur. Okay, so this one probably is going to be found under Tools, or, oh, I'm sorry, Filters. Yep, there we go. Under Filters, you're going to find all your filters. Here's a Blur tool. We're going to go over to Gaussian Blur. It's the second one. And you can kind of see how it blurs out your image here. It's much blurrier. And it's at 5 pixels for horizontal and vertical. We're going to adjust this down to 1. All you have to do is click on one of the arrows, because these are linked with the chain there, and click it down to 1 pixel. And under Photoshop, same thing. You can find that 1 pixel Gaussian Blur under Filters, I believe. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do before we start drawing is apply a Posterized filter. And again, that could probably be found right under Filters, or probably the easier one is under Colors again. You can see that there's the Posterized. So I just go under Colors for all of them. Choose Posterize, and you're going to adjust this to where you can see your image, but you're also going to give yourself some areas to draw in, and again, and without making it too busy, hopefully. That looks like a good setting right there for me to work with. Maybe even down a little bit more. That's a little much there. Let's bring it back here. I think that's going to be workable right there. I'm going to work with this image, and you can see the different areas where I'm going to be tracing. So go ahead and click OK. And once you got your Posterized set up and your desaturation of your image, let's go ahead and save it again. And now you're ready to start drawing.